Good evening, guys, and welcome to our team call for Tuesday, May 9th. Guys, I'm really excited about this call, and you guys will see why in a minute. First, let's do some news. So, shout out to everyone that attended the Playbook in Philly this weekend. Way to go for putting, skin into your business. The power of events is huge, guys, and you're missing out if you're not attending events in your area. Find them. If your team isn't holding events, find them in your area because they exist. There's Beachbody coaches doing stuff everywhere. Get involved because it really helps increase your faith in the business. Tomorrow night, we have the Story of Your Dreams workshop, part 3. Make sure that you're there. I'll share the link as soon as Arlene gives it to me. Arlene Pino, who is one of Christina Delgado's personally sponsored Star Diamond coaches. She's going to be the one leading tomorrow. Make sure you guys there. It'll be at 9. And on Saturday, for those of you that are in the tri-state area, we have Craig Coyler from Beachbody Corporate coming over for a training in the city. Get your tickets, guys. Tickets are still available. Make sure you're there. And of course, on May 20th, Gabby and I are doing the Lock It Down training in the Bronx. Get your tickets to that too, because that's going to be incredible. Can't wait to see you guys there. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me give you guys a little background. So I met Alexa through Instagram about 2 years ago, right, Alexa?
Yes.
2 years ago. And we talked back and forth. She was moving. I remember I checked in on her when she was moving to see how it was going. A couple months went by since she and I first started talking. And then one day she was like, I'm ready. I want to lose weight. I'm going to join your challenge group. I'm like, okay, cool. So she joins, and then the challenge pack got lost in the mail, and then she was complaining about it, and she returned it, and then they sent her another one. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be drama with this girl.
So hard.
It's going to be drama with this girl, but it was actually awesome. And from the first week that Alexa joined that challenge group, she was on fire. Those of you guys that know her now know how contagious her energy is. She just knows how to liven up a room. She's a natural born leader. So that's what she was doing in the challenge group. So, about a month went by and I'm like, Alexa, why don't you become a coach? And she decided to go for it. She was a little taken aback, but she took a minute to wrap her head around becoming a coach herself. And she decided to do it. And I remember January of last year, January 2016, we met for the first time. And it's like, so if she's fire on social media, she's even more in person. And it was incredible. Alexa was hitting Success Club. Alexa was doing her thing. Alexa, you became a success starter and got your free ticket to Summit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. Alexa made enough money to buy her husband an Apple Watch for Father's Day.
Yes.
It's like she showed me how much money she was earning to date with Beachbody, and it was incredible. So she signs up in January, and come summertime, like May, June, this time last year, I guess some things in her personal life, and she'll go into it more in detail. Some things in her personal life kind of took a toll on her, and Alexa did not hit Success Club 1 month. And what that did for her was put her in a slump that hit her business to rock, took her business to rock bottom for a couple of months, where she wasn't even wanting to talk to me. I would try to reach out to her. She didn't want to talk to me. She wasn't really posting. She was still supporting her challengers because she loves to serve people. But Alexa was pretty much 1 foot out the door with her business. And, this business isn't easy, guys. We're asking to live life on our terms, to have financial freedom, to have time freedom, to do what we want with our life. That's not going to come easy. It's not. And the reason why I invited Alexa to talk on tonight's call is because she turned it all around. And today she sent me a text, which I absolutely loved. It was one of the best things I've heard in a long time. I want to read it to you guys as soon as I find it. So Alexa said to me, I'm actually excited. I think me failing was the best thing that could have happened to me in my business. Me failing was the best thing that could have happened to me in my business, because I know she's not alone. There's a lot of coaches that feel like failures, that don't hit Success Club, that wonder if they should just quit. Well, I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to let Alexa tell her side of the story. Go ahead, girl.
So I already told you guys how excited I was to not only join her challenge group, but I just, when Audrey asked me to become a coach, I was taken aback. But secretly, I had been wanting to become a coach already by my second week, because I would look at her posts and I see how motivating it was. And I saw that other people would ask me questions. And for me, it was natural to want to help people. I've always been in the medical, the dental field. So for me, serving was something that brought me joy. And I love talking to people. I talk in my sleep. So it was something that for me just came natural. That part of the aspect of the business wasn't hard for me. So of course, like Audrey said, I was doing great. I became Emerald right away. I was talking to people. I was posting. But right around the summertime, you go through your warm market, you're doing your invitations, you're doing all these things, you're doing your PD, you're doing all these things. And it came to a point that I felt like I was having issues in my relationship. I was having issues at my full-time job. As many of you guys know, I have a special needs child. She's going to be 22 in August. And it's been very rough for me because most of my life I raised her on my own with very little help, and trying to get her into programs and get her the right help took a lot of toll on me as a mom, because here I was helping all these other women, but I felt that I neglected Emily and pushed her to the side. And even though many of you remember her doing Country Heat, I really wasn't into doing Country Heat, but Emily was excited about doing Country Heat. And I remember going to a Super Saturday and hearing about the Sarah story and how much you can bring to people. So, it was just a lot of things. And I'm sure that many of you guys can relate, because we all have children and husbands and jobs and parents and sicknesses. But I let that get in the way of what I really wanted. So I decided, what a lot of women in my challenge group do is I put what I wanted for myself to the side. Not my business, but what I wanted for myself to the side. And that was a hard process for me. Not hitting Success Club was a hard process. Losing my coaches because I was almost at diamond and having to start over again. It was just like, how many times am I going to get up? Like, God, really? Are you really doing this to me? I almost was like angry at him for saying, like, you let me get this far only to let me get down. And it was just, and then the next month I go to check my online office and here I am at -2. I think I remember calling Audrey at that point, and I was in tears. Like, I was literally in tears, because I said, how can I be a leader? How can I lead? How can I tell people that you can do these things when I don't even believe that I can do this? I don't, and she was right. I was 1 foot out the door. So my biggest mistake was that instead of reaching out to her, reaching out to anybody saying, hey, I'm sinking, or what can I do to change this around, is I started doing the worst thing that you can do, was with not communicate. I decided that I wasn't going to go to Super Saturday because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I was a zero. I was embarrassed that I had failed Audrey. And for me, I'm like, how can I be part of this team named Luminous Nation when I don't feel any light? My light is shut off. My energy was not there. And anybody that knows me knows that I'm always smiling and I'm always happy, but I was not happy. I was as miserable that I could have been. Not only was my business failing, but my marriage was failing. I wasn't being a good mom. And yeah, I was working out because that was something that at this point that was embedded in me, and I was disciplined to do that. And that I always posted. But I was very broken inside because I didn't know how to get past the failure. So, fast forward a few months, December comes around, January comes around. I know that I'm going to be fired. I've been at my office for 17 years and it's coming. At some point, I reach out to Audrey and I told her, I know it's coming. it's coming, it's ready. And it was like I spoke it into the world, and I kept saying it. It's going to happen about February. It's going to happen about February. I don't know why I said that, but lo and behold, what I had put out into the universe, I got fired on February 1st. I got fired from my job of 17 years without any warning on February 1st. I was not fired because I wasn't a good employee. I was fired because the office closed, and it just happened. And as devastating as that was, I thought to myself, well, I've been a slave to this job for 17 years. And I've been a slave to my marriage and to my kids. When am I going to do something that's going to make me happy? And I remember the call that I made to Audrey. I hadn't talked to her in weeks. And I sent her a simple text, and I said, Audrey, I need to talk to you tonight. I don't know if you can fit it in your schedule. And I don't know if she remembers this, but she FaceTimed me. And I think she was expecting me to say something like, yeah, I'm done. Because now, mind you, I wasn't myself. I wasn't given the energy. She had tried to reach out to me, but I wasn't ready to receive that because my mind wasn't in it. The embarrassment for me was too hard. The feeling that I had of letting all these people down was just too much for me to bear. There was many nights that I couldn't sleep, that I cried, guys, because I had said, you know, I wanted this for myself. This is the first time that I had something that it was mine. It was mine. It wasn't my kids. It wasn't my husband's. It was mine. And I let it slip away because of the fear of failing. And for the first time, I understood that I didn't need Audrey's approval or my team's approval or my husband or my kids. I needed to accept that it was okay that I failed, that it was okay because it happens, that failure is part of success. So on February 1st, I called Audrey. That was the same day I got fired. And I told her, I want to come back. I want to work my business. This is what I want. And I went for it. And I told her, I don't care how many trainings you send me. If they're 10 a day, I'm going to get through them. And little by little, I knew that in February 1st, I couldn't invite people. Because I had been out of it. And I knew that it was going to be even harder than doing this the first time because now people had saw that I was not consistent. But I decided that between prayer, PD, and just work, it was not anything magical. I haven't done anything magical. That I found my light again. But if I'm here telling you this, it's because I don't want you to make those mistakes. I don't want you to feel that you have to look to the side. You have to look at what the other person next to you is doing. You have to do the best for you every single day. And I told Audrey that she said, I didn't want Success Club, or I didn't want to become a diamond. I didn't want to do all these things for her or for my team. I really wanted this honestly for myself. I wanted to be able to look in the mirror and say, I did it. Whether I have scratches or bruises, but I'm here. And honestly, when I looked back at saying, oh my God, I have all this work ahead of me, I said, you know, Beachbody doesn't really ask you but 4 things: to invite, to be proof of the product, to do PD, and to recognize. So even though I had few challengers here and there, you know what? If I had one challenger, I will make sure I love that one person. If I needed to recognize and I had no one to recognize, I will recognize someone on my team, another coach. I just felt like if I did all those things and just gave love to those people that needed it, it was going to come back to me. And I wasn't worried anymore about hitting Success Club because every day when I woke up, I said, I'm going to hit Success Club. And I believed it. I don't worry about those things anymore. I'm going to be honest. I'm a Success Club 2 right now. But I bet you that at the end of the month, you're going to see my name on the leaderboard because it wasn't because it was a number to me anymore. It was a belief that I had in myself. Because all along, Audrey believed. She would have never thought to herself that she could be a good coach if she didn't have something that gave her, there's something different about her. Each one of you, somebody saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself, because God's dream for you is bigger than your dream. And God all along has saw this dream for me, but something in myself started doubting. I started letting the fear, the embarrassment, all those negative thoughts started clouding my head instead of realizing that it's okay. So for me, failing and failing miserably was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I know now what I did wrong, and I know that it's okay, and I know that I'm alive and kicking, and that I'm not going to go down without a fight. This is not going to be the first challenge, but every day I look at it as a new opportunity. When I speak to my audience, I think I am a rock star. I speak to them like I'm speaking to everyone. When I post, I don't post, well, this happened today. I say, hey guys, guess what happened today? Because I know that I have an audience. I know that somewhere out there, there's a woman out there, there's a person out there that doesn't believe in themselves. And that was me. Audrey couldn't do it for me because Audrey believed, but Alexa didn't believe. I didn't believe what she saw in me. You know, she would tell me sometimes like, oh, you know, I can see you doing this. And I shake my head and I smile and I giggle. But honestly, I didn't believe it, because I said, you know, she's like this big person. Like, does she not see what she does? Like, I can't do that. But now I don't believe that. I don't limit myself, because I had myself in this little box. And I started realizing that I was never going to get out that box if I didn't dream outside of that box. It came from simply making those changes of believing in myself, because if I didn't believe in myself, who was going to believe in me? My kids didn't respect me. My marriage was suffering for it. I already had lost my job. So that I was honestly not happy and miserable at. So why not try making it as something that I really loved, that fueled my fire? I knew that at some point something had to change, because when I went to sleep at night, it was the last thing that I had on my mind. And it was the first thing that I thought of when I woke up. I mean, every day I thank God for that I'm here. But every day when I go to sleep, I think about, oh God, what post am I going to post? Who am I going to reach out to? At 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I have one of my coaches here, Elaine is on here. She will tell you that every day, 99% of the time, I am messaging people at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, I still have eye boogers in my eyes and a kid probably pulling at me, but it drives me. And I want you to know that it's okay to fail, that you need to reach out, that even when you feel your lowest and you don't want to, you need to make PD like your medicine. You know that yucky medicine that your mom will give you when you were little? My mom used to give me cod liver oil. I don't know why, because I would throw up my breakfast every time. So I never understood why she would give that to me after eating, but she did, right? But you knew that your mom was doing it because she loved you, and that somehow she thought that something in that cod liver oil was going to do something, a benefit. Well, that's how you have to treat your PD and your vitals. Like it's that medicine, like it's that Band-Aid that you have to put on, because if you don't do it, it's your lifeline. Your light is going to extinguish. And let me tell you something, people realize it. Whether you believe it, when you hear Audrey say, people can pick up on it, they can. It's transmitted. It's just something about when you walk in the room, they know if you're down or you're up. And I don't want to be down, because I've been down and it's ugly. And I don't want that for any of you guys. But I can tell you that you can rebuild. I am telling you that right now, you know, I still have not gone back to work, because, you know, we're trying to make a family decision. If I do want to work a few hours and I want to work my Beachbody business, and I'm doing it every day. And yes, is it a little easier? You would think, right? But guess what? When I worked, I had a schedule. When I didn't work, I didn't have a schedule. And I ran into those barriers. I had to reach out to Rosie, because I'm great talking, but let me tell you something. I am a hot mess. I don't know how my kids even made it this far. And I'm honest, and I say that to people. I had to learn how to be organized. I had to let my husband, who's military, who is the most organized person in the whole world, and say to him, dude, I need help because this is not my area. And until I started scheduling things, until I started making it a priority, it wasn't going to happen. Until I started tracking it, I wasn't realizing how much things I was letting fall. I wasn't adding to my network. I wasn't doing all the things that I had been told all along. But I know that I'm not done. I know that I can. And for the first time, I believe that I can do it. And I want to do it for myself. And I'm sure Audrey sees me, and I'm sure she's proud because she tells me, but she knows that I am going to do it because I want it. And that's what I want you guys to understand, that I can't want it for you. She can't want it. You have to want it. You have to put in the work. There is no secret. The secret is that you have to track it. You have to make sure you do all your vitals, and that you have to first believe. Because when she reached out to you, when your upline reached out to you, it's because they saw that in you. They saw that spark in you. And it's in there. It's inside. You just have to sometimes relight it and make sure that everybody sees that spark. And my spark is different than your spark, or than her spark, or than her spark. But remember that each of your sparks is uniquely made. There's no one else like you. Anybody can buy Shakeology, Beachbody on Demand. There's commercials all day at 3 in the morning, at 3 in the afternoon. But what are they buying? They're buying you guys. And I see you guys posting every day. And I see your kids. And I see that. And that's what people want to know. People want to know that, yeah, you are a hot mess, but it's okay. But even though you're a hot mess, look where you're at. And that's the only difference between you and Audrey or any other coach, is that she knows what she wants. She goes out and gets it. And whether she sucks or doesn't suck on a day, she's not afraid to say, I suck today. And she's not embarrassed of it anymore, because we all go through that. We're human. And I let my embarrassment, my ego, get in front of her letting me say, we can fix this. You can work it. And staying away from events, when she was saying how, you got to make sure, you have to make sure you go to those things, because it's like going to church. Sometimes you don't want to get dressed. It's raining. It's cold. But once you're there, you're like, I feel good, right? Well, it's the same thing. So treat your business like it's the most wonderful thing that happened to you. Because let me tell you something, it's been hard with one income and someone that's away a lot. But guess what? Every week I get a paycheck, and guess what? I might be able to get my nails this week. I don't know. But it feels good that I affected that. My daughter's graduating high school. Of course, she decided to graduate high school and skip a whole year. And then we're running around to get prom dresses and do all these things, because it came at the perfect time. Because, right, it always comes at the perfect time. It's never at the time that you want, right? And I just made a decision. I said, my daughter's going to slay at prom. So every day I say, I have to talk to someone. If I'm not talking to 30 people every single day, I'm not doing my job. I don't care if I'm in the car. I don't care if I'm in the bathroom. I don't care where I go. I make sure that I have at least 30 conversations a day. And I don't get stuck on if someone says no anymore. And if they want to return challenge back, that's okay, return it. You'll be back. That's how you have to feel. And don't let that nose, don't let the embarrassment, don't let the whoa, because guess what? There's another coach going through the same exact thing. You're not alone. You're not alone. There's 1,000 moms on here with kids that are annoying, with a teenager that wants now coffin nails. Like, I know what coffin nails are, and we're going through it. There's a mom just like me that has a special needs kid that is trying to figure out, what am I going to do? And it's okay to fail, because let me tell you something. I'm here, I'm alive, I'm kicking, I'm talking to you guys. I've never been happier in my life. I'm telling you, failing saved my life. Saved my life. Because I'm happy about it. And I'm honest about it. And I tell people about it. And I think it just really humbled me because it's not easy. And nobody ever said it was. But if you want it and you love it, you'll work for it. And that's my story, ladies.
That's amazing. And I think that throughout the whole thing, my favorite thing, and it's like, it's such a difference, you guys, because I remember one day late last summer, I called Alexa. She didn't even want to look at me. I would always FaceTime her because I knew I had to see her. She didn't even want to look at me one day.
Go like this.
Yeah. She didn't even want to look at me.
Because I'm embarrassed.
But, you know, she always said in the beginning of her journey, like, I'm going to make you proud. So my favorite thing, and then, you know, even when she was going through her slump, she's like, I just don't want to disappoint you. My favorite thing is that she turned that around. She's like, I don't care if you're disappointed or if you're proud of me, because I'm not doing it for you anymore. I'm doing it for me. And I think that sometimes you guys might feel like you're letting your upline down. Your upline just wants to see you succeed. You know, so you have to make sure that you are doing it for yourself, because only you know what those reasons are. Now, tell me again, Alexa, why didn't you quit? What was that one thing that kept you coming back?
You know, as much as there was nights, and Rosie knows because Rosie went through it with me the whole entire time. She would always check on me. There was just something in me that I just couldn't do it because I knew that there was that fire in me still left. It was maybe very, very small, but it was there. And I knew that this job to serve other people was bigger than me. It's what I was put on this earth on. And I know people are like looking at me, even my siblings. As soon as I got fired from my job, he said, well, are you going to look for a job? I said, I have a job. I'm a Beachbody coach. And he said, no, I meant a real job. And I said, this is a real job. I get up every day. I smile. I have a great team of people and I serve others. I don't know about you, but that's a job. And I love my job. I can never say that I can't reach out to my girls. I can never say that someone will judge me or speak to me badly. And we're not always going to get along, and that's normal, but that's because we're family. You know, you can't choose your family, but I know that God picked this figure for me. Mm-hmm. He picked this for me. So who am I to question that? So that's why I never quit, because I knew that this was something that I couldn't give up.
And I know a lot of people that feel like that too, that it's not going the way they planned. And they don't know what to do, but they feel like, I can't quit though. I can't quit. I have a question for you. You and I had a conversation one day when you got back on your game, and I'm like, Alexa, what's different now? And you're like, to be honest, I wasn't inviting. That's what you said, because I hear from coaches all the time, yeah, I'm talking to people. And you even told me, yeah, I'm talking to people. No one wants to sign up. You weren't actively inviting. So tell me right now, what exactly did you do when you decided to come back?
Well, I can tell you exactly what I did because I wrote it down. February 1st, I started to work on my business. And as I started doing all these training, I realized that, yeah, I was inviting, but I wasn't tracking it. I was inviting, but it wasn't consistent. If I felt like inviting that day, I invited. If another day I didn't feel like inviting or I had a rough day, I didn't. The difference is that I gave myself a goal every single day. On March 1st, I said I'm going to add every single day on my network 20 to 30 people. And on March 1st, I started with 0. And as of this morning, because I counted, because I knew we were having this meeting from March 1st until today, I've added 238 new people to my network. And I've talked to those 238 people already.
Amazing.
As soon as I invite someone to be my friend, I never speak about Beachbody. I never speak about Shakeology because I am not Shakeology. Shakeology sells itself. I'm Alexa. And if they like my post, if they let me become their friend, I say hello, I introduce myself. And I track that. By the time I invite people have invited me to barbecues. People have asked me to help them move. People ask me to their house that I don't know. People call me on the phone. People FaceTime me. People will refer people to me that I don't even sometimes have to even work for, honestly, because I just give them me. So it doesn't feel icky anymore to invite. It doesn't feel like it's a hard task to invite, because it's like if I go somewhere and I get a really cool pedicure, I'm going to tell everybody. Well, that's how I feel. I'm in that much relationship that me inviting them doesn't even faze me anymore. But I track it. And I know that for me, organization wasn't key, but I needed to track it and process. So when they tell you, oh, use this tracker, you need to use it. If you don't want to use it on the computer, use it on paper, whatever you want to do, but you need to track it.
That's another thing that Alexa did. So not only did she actually start inviting every single day, it's one of our vital processes, and like she said, 30 people a day. Number two is that Alexa was extremely coachable. It's like everything I told her to do, she went and did it. And when I gave her Danny Johnson's 6 Figures in 6 Months, that just changed the way she was having conversations with people.
That's why you always see me putting, all right, people, I'm about to apply duct tape. Because when you see that, it's because you know that I'm inviting.
If you guys don't have that audiobook, contact your upline coach so that they could give it to you, or contact me. I'll send it over to you. But that helped Alexa tremendously. So again, she was coachable. This business, nobody is good at it from the beginning. Nobody. It's skill sets that you have to build, but you have to be, like Alexa said, put your ego aside and find out what you need and do it. Find out what you need and do it. Alexa, how many Success Club points did you get last month?
I got 10, Lisa? 10. We have a board here, so yes, 10.
So you hit Success Club 10.
10 or 12?
I think you did 12.
12.
You did 12.
She just corrected me.
Congratulations.
And let me tell you something. It's an honor when kids come home. Mom, what are we at? That to me is like music,
Yeah, and I have more accountability.
Yes. What are we at? Are we going to get ice cream on Friday? I was like, I don't know. Are you guys going to give me time because I got to go talk to people? Go, Mom. Go talk to people. I'd rather have ice cream later, and it's, we make it fun. They know this is what I like to do. They know that I'm on a call. They know that I'm helping people, sometimes in a different language, but it's okay. It's became part of my life because this is what I want to do.
Now, some people have questions. They want to know, what do you say when you first message somebody?
And
do you
when
follow a script? Or?
I don't follow a script. I don't follow scripts. You mean when I'm adding someone new to my network?
Yeah.
First, I stalk their page for a little bit. So I want to know if they're a mom, if they're not a mom, are they a student. Believe it or not, I do get people that are not moms, and that's kind of cool too, because, it's just women. So I will ask them about themselves and say, hey, how are you? Thanks for accepting my friend request. Facebook suggested it, so I decided to go ahead and why not? And I just start off from there. I don't say anything else. I let them talk. And they'll ask me, oh, I looked and you work out, or whatever it is that they ask me. I answer them, but I interview them. So what do you do for fun? Or do you have pets? Because I'll look at that to see. I mean, you can make a conversation about anything. If they have pets, do they have children? How many of these children do they have? I always try to find something in common with them. Mm-hmm. So if they tell me, oh, I have a 17-year-old as well. Is your kid graduating? Do you have prom? And if, they say they have prom, there you go. Or where did you get your dress? Oh my God, I had a nightmare of this. So I'm making conversations all day. And like I said, I get invited to barbecues in other states and I'm not even there. And I'm like, you do remember that I'm not in that state, right? And that's how I know that people do trust me and they tell me their stories, because I let them talk. And some people, believe it or not, find it more refreshing to talk to a stranger that they're getting to know, because they don't feel like they're being judged, or they feel like there's somebody new to listen to them. Maybe they're tired of their old friends that already heard it. And I don't know, but I like knowing that I can be that for other people. So when I do invite them, it doesn't feel bad, because now I'm in a relationship with this person. And honestly, sometimes they'll ask me about it because now I'm always saying hello to them. And I do track when I speak to them. I make sure I say hello. And I have a schedule for that. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm inviting such amount. Okay, let me just go and talk to new people. Let me mingle. Let me say hi. Let me like their pictures. All those things are so important. And believe it or not, people would give me their phone numbers or they give me their address and invite me to barbecues. I would send them little notes. I send people handwritten love notes. And these are not like expensive, but do you know how nice it is when you go to your mailbox and you get something that somebody hand wrote to you? I just decided to do the things that I think I would like people to do for me. Nobody's yet to write me a letter, just saying. But I make sure I write letters. I'm sure I'm going to get letters now.
I'll write you a letter, Alexa. I've sent you notes.
Yes. So, it's those little things that people appreciate, and you have to think about, what would you like a new friend to do for you? So that's how I think about it. I always say, if that person was my best friend, and that's how I just talk to them. I just make it easy. I think sometimes we make it overcomplicated. We overthink it, and you should just ask questions. Do you have a cat? Do you have a dog?
Less thinking, more talking, more doing.
More questions.
Yes. All right. So I'll open it up for some questions. And another thing Alexa said, which was awesome, is that she didn't go to Super Saturday when she was failing in her business.
No. And I had my ticket. And I had people asking me, and I avoided it like if it was the plague. Not even if they were giving pizza, I would have gone. Because I didn't want, I was too embarrassed. And that was a mistake. A huge mistake. Because it's when I should have gone the most.
Yep. All right, do you guys have questions? Unmute your lines if you have questions for Alexa.
Hi, Alexa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Maria.
I never take calls during my kids' game. I wanted to come in and just congratulate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's really happy to see you so positive, girl. Good comeback. Sorry, be quick. It's loud.
Awesome. Anybody else? Any new coaches that want to say something? All right. Well, Alexa's always available. She loves to help out. So if you guys have any questions for her that you'd feel more comfortable asking her one-on-one, I'm sure she'd love to help you guys out.
I might need to send you a note.
Hey, Alexa, it's Kat.
Hey, Kat.
Mamita, I just want to say I don't have a question because you definitely, everything you said was so in-depth, and I'm sure that's kind of what everybody is feeling. But I just wanted to say there's something different in your voice. I think before you definitely had this confidence and energy, an extrovert, I can recognize it, fellow extrovert. So, that was definitely something that was awesome, but there's just something so, I don't know, like, I guess it's that posture that everyone's always talking about. You have this posture about your voice that even if I wasn't just looking at your beautiful face right now, you can't see me, can you? Yeah, hi. It's just like God is on you right now. Like he's like right there. He's with you. And I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm so happy for you, babe.
Thank you. You don't understand. Like, ladies, you just don't understand. I've been to hell and back.
Yeah.
And this year has kicked my ass. And I have to say that thank God for my business. Thank God for PD. Because not only am I succeeding in my business, but because I created the discipline to do this every day, to invite, to put my problems to the side and decide to serve other people was my saving grace. Listening to other women tell me that nobody believed in them, that they couldn't do these things, made me realize that I was that same woman that needed someone. And when I decided to become a challenger, Audrey was that for me. And me listening to these people and really opening up and just saying, you know, wow, like I have all these problems. I might lose my house. I might lose, you know, my marriage. My kids are in a mess. But serving other people and listening to them and putting my problems to the side, one by one, God has vindicated me. I'm still here. I'm alive. I have my house. My kids have my health. So don't doubt in the power that you have in yourself, because let me tell you something. It is powerful. These women out there that we're serving, like Carl says, there's millions of people out there that we haven't even touched that need that. So don't doubt that your story, as sad as you think it might be or as embarrassed as you is, might be somebody else's saving grace.
So true. You just have to be humble. Be humble and take action. Don't stay stuck in your head. Don't stay stuck in your head. And Alexa, when you decided to come back and start working your business, was life better yet?
It was not. There was nobody outside of my house with violins. There was no roses. It was hard. It was work. But I was happy because I knew that I can only affect my business. Audrey can affect it. None of my girls in my team could affect it. I have to show up to my business every day, whether you have cramps, whatever it is, it's up to me to show up. Mm-hmm. It's great to have in control. I was thinking more like an employee instead of thinking like a boss. And I know that if I'm going to tell you girls something that I would do. And I wasn't very proud to admit it, but I can admit it now, that when I was doing really great, if I was at Success Club 5 or 6, right? I didn't push as hard. Yeah, I wanted 10, but I was like, I don't have to work as hard. I already made Success Club. Whereas then now, I don't care if I'm a 10 or a 12. I'm not even thinking about this month. I'm thinking about the next month. On the first of the month, I'm like, I need to be at 10 today. Mm-hmm. Every day I need to be at 10. I don't ever worry about the end of the month, because for me, I take it day by day and week by week. So I know I'm going to get there, but I'm already thinking about June. I'm already at 1 month ahead. I don't say, oh, I hit it and now I'm done. No, I say, damn, I hit it. So now I got to get more.
And I keep building.
5 more and 10 more. And I don't say anymore, I want to hit Success Club 10. I want to hit Success Club 30. And I want to hit 50 then the next month. And I don't put myself in that box anymore, because God's dream for me is so much way bigger than what my dream is for myself.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're no longer trying to make me proud.
Oh, I'm sure she is. But
I am. I'm so proud of you.
I'm sure she is.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on tonight. Alexa, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're an inspiration.
Love you, ladies.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.